Hey guys, so today I'm planning on doing just a really simple, pretty look, sort of nude colours on the lid, but something defined, something that I think will be really versatile. So I'm going to get started. So today I'm using my airbrush foundation, and I'm just going to use it like a regular foundation. So it's quite thin and watery. You need to sort of shake it, but so this airbrush foundation is really similar to MAC Face and Body. So it's something that I'm trying out. I've heard that it's really great to use airbrush foundations just like normal foundation because the particles are so fine because it's designed for the airbrush that they sit really beautifully on the skin. So this is something new that I'm testing out. So this is the sort of product that you really need to layer, similar to MAC Face and Body. So add product where you really feel like you need it, and then buff it out into the areas where you don't need as much coverage. And this is waterproof, so it will last really well. And today I'm thinking of doing makeup that's obviously suitable for day and night time, but something that is quite ladylike and pretty and not too heavy, but still really beautiful. As you can see, I've already done my eyebrows because I have an eyebrow tutorial and it just seems to take a bit of time. So I've done those already, so you just style your brows however you like, and if you need any help with that, as I said, I do have a tutorial. I'm now going to just do a tiny bit of colour correction under my eyes. Just using the orange, sorry, that's my Graftobian palette that I always use. I'm using that today as well. And a little of the light yellow colour just to add a tiny highlight, make me look a little bit more fresh. So today with the eyes, I'm taking MAC Soft Ochre Paint Pot as a primer for my lids, just because we want to have that really light tone on the lid. I'm thinking quite ladylike and pretty, and this will really provide a great base, long wearing, and lift the colour on the eyelids there, especially for people that have a lot of discoloration on their eyelids. It's a perfect product for you and for me. I blend a lot of it's left on the finger under the eye there. So I'm just taking a really light base shadow. This one is from Makeup Forever. The number is TB49A, which is, it doesn't really have a name, it's more of a number. So I'll leave all that information below. And this is a really great base color to use when you're going for one of those really pretty ladylike is the terms I keep using. But just light, beautiful shades on the lids. Sort of lightening that whole area. So I've got my really light base shadow colour, and now I'm taking another Makeup Forever colour. These are all colours that I got at Salon Melbourne, which I'm loving. And this one is TC85A, and it's sort of like a really light, but it sort of has like a tiny amount of illumination in it, which you'll be able to see when I put it on my lids. Sort of just picks up the light. So I'm just placing that all over the lid, but not as high as I did before, sort of more on the mobile lid. So I'm taking RH30A with a MAC 217, and I'm just going to buff this into my crease, just on the outer edge of the eye there, and into the crease. We're sort of really keeping it light and pretty and not too heavy and not too much onto. We want to keep our mobile lid bare, so we're just keeping that in the crease and blending. We're focusing most of the colour on the outer edge of the eye there, and then just blending it around. This is one of those really great looks that you can wear to so many different things, whether it be sort of a daytime party or someone's wedding, or you could even wear this to a job interview. Just really pretty makeup that looks like you've made the effort, but it's not heavy and it's not cakey. Well, we never want our makeup to be cakey. And then I'm just going to blend that top edge with a clean, fluffy brush, because we don't want the product to be too high on the arch there. And that's the secret to beautiful makeup, is to blend, blend, blend. On that same 217 brush, I'm just going to take Buck from my Naked palette. Now this is a little bit heavier in colour, so I'm just going to apply that into the outer V there and into the crease. And it's just the same as before, but we're just adding a little bit more definition. Always blend that top edge. So for a tiny bit more definition, I'm just going to take, this is Toffee by Natural Born Cosmetics. These are really cheap eyeshadows but really good quality. I'm just going to take a tiny bit on my tapered blending brush from Louise Young. So we're just taking Toffee in our outer V there. Using a tapered blending brush will keep that colour really precise rather than making the look a lot more smoky. And we want to keep it sort of light but defined. We're going to take our dirty brush from before and just blend across just to sort of keep it soft and pretty. So on a flat shader brush, I'm just going to take that medium brown tone from Makeup Forever, and I'm just going to take that under my eye area. So on this tiny detailer brush from Haku Hodo, it's sort of like an eye bullet brush. So I'm just taking back from my Naked palette, I'm just going to take that under the eye area. So don't worry too much about any fallout under here because we haven't concealed yet, so we'll put some concealer on and really clean that up. So I'm taking my Ben Nye Cake Liner and my Gorgeous Cosmetics sort of sealant, which is you mix them together and form your own eyeliner. So it's pretty much, you can make it as sort of thick or as thin as you like based on the consistency that you prefer. I'm just mixing it together, if you can see that. So you mix, mix, mix. If it's really watery, it will be quite translucent, so it will be more like grey, whereas if you keep stirring it, it becomes thicker and becomes more opaque, which is what we want for an eyeliner. This one is quite good. There's so many cake liners, and I think a lot of the time they're quite the same. You can get lots of different sealants as well, so it doesn't have to be the ones that I'm using today. So I'm just mixing this up with my Precision Angle Liner brush by Designer Makeup Tools. And then I've got it on my brush. See, as you can see, it's sort of like a thick, watery mess, but don't be too worried. And then I usually put some on the back of my hand. And then we're just going to create a really beautiful winged liner. This is all about preference. You can take yours as far out as you like, or, you know, just keep it on your eyelid. But so the aim is to get your eyeliner looking great. In the beginning, I like to keep it quite close to the lash line, and then as I go along, I like to then make it thicker. So that's my eyeliner done. On just a fine liner brush, I'm going to take some gel eyeliner, whichever one you like. Today I'm using MAC Black Track, but you can take whatever you like. I wouldn't suggest using your cake liner because it is water soluble. It will generally sort of water into your eyeline. I'm just going to take this on my top waterline. Just so that we can't see any skin underneath. We want it to be really quite black rather than just sort of like you can see bits of light coloured hair and skin and everything underneath there. So with your eyeliner, obviously you want to get it as even as you can, but it's often very hard because our faces are not symmetrical. So give it your best shot, but don't be too hung up on it, and you can always come back later. Give it a break, come back later and fix it up rather than just obsessing and then getting upset. Just do the rest of your face, come back and fix up your eyeliner later on. So next I'm going to go back to the skin. I'm just going to take a little bit of my Smooth Indulgence foundation from Dermablend, and this is in the colour Wheat. And I forgot to say that my Element 2 is also in the colour Wheat. So I'm just going to take a tiny bit of that, and I'm just going to put a bit of coverage sort of on my chin here. I did get a bit lazy with my Clarisonic, and so now I'm paying for it. Today I'm using Pro Longwear Concealer in NC20. Just going to take a tiny bit of that onto the back of my hand. It's really hard to use this pump. It's so sort of like tight, so that when you do it, it just sort of comes out really quickly. So I'm taking that Pro Longwear Concealer just with a Zoeva concealer brush, and I'm just going to take this under my eye area. And we want to keep that colour under our lash line that we've put there, because that's really going to add a bit of definition. I love the smell of this concealer. So to set my under eye concealer there, I'm just going to take a bit of Ben Nye Banana Powder, and I'm just going to tap a tiny bit into the lid. Probably that much. So the trick for this is to make sure all of the creases from your eye movement have been pressed out, and then go in with your powder. And I'm just taking this just to sort of lift my under eye area and to also set my foundation. Not going to be massively noticeable because I'm sort of a medium toned, well, medium to light toned person, but on someone that's a bit darker, that would be quite a highlight. And someone who's lighter, you might want to go for the translucent powder instead. I'm just going to take my MAC Mineralized Skin Finish Natural in light, just a tiny amount of that under my eye area. Just keep that area quite sort of lifted, because we really want to have that contrast between the beautiful shadows on the lid and then that light area underneath our eye area. So for contour, I'm taking the medium dark colour of the Skin Finish. On that same brush, I'm just going to bronze sort of areas that I would prefer to be in shadow or receding. And for me, that's sort of underneath my cheek, but then also down onto my chin. As a contour today, I'm taking MAC Sculpt. So I'm just going to take that bullet brush I used earlier with Buck and just add a bit more colour under my eye there. So today for blush, I'm going to use my By Terry blush. It's quite sort of, it has lots of illuminating pigments in it, which are really pretty. I'm just going to use a foundation brush for that. I'm just going to pick it up on my brush and sort of stipple it on the back of my hand like that. I'm just going to press it onto my cheek. And if you do it on both sides and then sort of take it off and then come back and this will bring a bit of sort of life back into our cheeks. On top of that By Terry blush, I'm just going to take a little bit of NARS Deep Throat just to sort of add a little more colour. We just need to sort of balance our face, and for someone like me with such a big face, a big jaw and everything, we really need to have those colours and everything balanced. So then for lips, today I'm taking a gorgeous lip pencil, Gorgeous Cosmetics lip pencil in Skinny Dip. Pumpkin Pie by NYX Cosmetics. Gorgeous Cosmetics Liquid Lip Lacquer. Liquid Lips Lip Lacquer in Natural. I'll just take some of that onto the back of my hand. Once your eyeliner is dry, that's why I've left it to the end, I'm just going to curl my lashes. I'm using the Colossal Volume Express Smoky Eyes mascara. I'm just now going to put on some light sort of feathery lashes. If you're not wearing lashes, then this is the finished look for you, but I'm just going to put some on and I'll be back with you in a moment. So I decided I'm going to actually add a little bit of highlighter. That is the Dignity highlighter from Face Stockholm. It's going to take a little bit on that brush that I used before, that foundation brush. And I'm just going to dust it across the top of my cheeks. Using this sort of brush will just make it look really natural and won't apply too much product. So that is the finished makeup look. If I zoom out, you can see better. So that's the finished makeup look today, guys. I hope that you've enjoyed and learned a few new techniques. I feel like that this is a very wearable look that you could pretty much wear to anything. I feel like it's just very like sort of classy and pretty, and it looks like you've made effort, but it's not over the top or too full on or too much makeup. If you want it to be a bit more dewy in the skin, because I have used quite a few powders, I would suggest using a face refreshing spray such as the MAC Fix Plus or the Skindinavia spray, or even just a rose water mist, and that will bring the hydration back into the face. But Since we're coming into winter in Melbourne and I'm sort of enjoying the matte skin, I don't mind that it's sort of more matte. This is something that I would wear to pretty much any occasion. Obviously it looks very sort of princessy with my hair up in a bun, but obviously that's just because today is bun day. You could also wear this eye makeup with a bright coloured red lip or a deep plum coloured lip. So that's the finished look today, guys. I hope that you've enjoyed watching. If you did enjoy the tutorial, then give me a thumbs up, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!